Morning, everybody. We're still waiting on a quorum because of folks in other committees, but we'd like to get started as quickly as possible. A message has gone out to members to come to the full committee, but we'll go at ease right now for hopefully just 5 minutes. Thank you. Morning, everyone. It's getting to that time when all of our folks are in other committees presenting bills, and so it's hard to get everyone here, but thank you for being here. We have 4 bills that we have administrative actions on. First up is HB 387 from Delegate Krizik. We'd like to take that bill by for the day.
So moved.
Oh, sorry, let's get attendance first. I apologize. All right, we definitely have a quorum present. All right, so the first order of business is taking HB 387 from Delegate Krizik by for the day. So we have a motion.
I move to move by for the day, HB 387. Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, HB 387 is by for the day. The next 2 bills we have Delegate McLaughlin's bill that we're going to re-refer to courts. Is that correct?
No, that has to go to appropriations.
Oh, apologies.
If it comes out favorably here.
Okay, hold on for a second. Go at ease for a moment. So, as I suspected, thankfully, Delegate McLaughlin's bill 673 does need to go to courts. So, is there a motion to refer Delegate McLaughlin's bill to courts?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that bill is moved to courts. And then finally, now HB 730 from Delegate Davis. We did McLaughlin's bill, now it's HB 730. Same thing, we're going to refer that bill to courts. We have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that bill is sent to courts. And then finally, Delegate Delaney has asked that we strike her bill HB 1236. That's also a motion.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
A strike is over.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh, sorry, recorded vote. We're going to strike HB 1236. Let's go to the big board. All right, by a vote of 19-0, that bill is stricken from the docket. All right, let's move on to our Ag Subcommittee reports. Chair Willett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We are making progress on the Ag Subcommittee, and we've got a bunch of bills today, so we're going to go through those. And we will start with HB 45, Delegate Fowler. This requires the Department of Wildlife Resources to maintain an annual accounting of the revenue that would have been received by the department from license exemptions. We have a number of exemptions, and this is basically to make sure we know the cumulative, the aggregate impact of those exemptions, the revenue that we're realizing. Subcommittee recommends reporting and referring to appropriations, and I so move.
Second.
All right. Any comments or questions from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 20-0, that bill is reported and referred to appropriations. Next bill?
Next bill is HB 109 from Delegate Seabold, and we have a substitute for that, and I move the substitute.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Substitute's before us.
Thank you. This bill and the substitute with it amends the definition of noxious weed to remove the exclusion for living plants or parts thereof that are commercially viable or commercially propagated in Virginia, and removes the requirement that the Noxious Weed Advisory Committee include those recommendations in the board's analysis. The subcommittee recommended reporting with substitute, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board.
Come on. There we go.
Somebody signed up to talk on this one, 402.
Oh, yeah. All right, by a vote of 21 to nothing, that bill is reported and with substitutes, or recommends reporting with substitute. All right, next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 112 from Delegate Lawfer, that also has a substitute, and I move the substitute.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, substitutes before us.
Thank you. The HB 112 makes it unlawful to prematurely separate any mammalian wildlife offspring born in captivity from the mother prior to the offspring turning 4 months of age. And there's several exceptions listed for that. This is a bill we've looked at a couple of times, and I think we have finally reached peace in the valley on that, and I appreciate Delegate Lawfer's tireless efforts to make that happen. The subcommittee recommends reporting with substitute, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 18 to 4, that bill is reported with substitute. All right, next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now we're on to HB 129 from Delegate Cornett. This bill also has a substitute, and I move the substitute.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, bill's before us.
Thank you. HB 129 allows the owner or the lessee of the land that sees a deer in the act of causing damage to fruit trees, crops, livestock, etc., to kill that deer who is damaging the fruit trees. This is a warning to all deer that you do not eat the fruit. Do not eat the fruit trees. The subcommittee recommends reporting with substitute, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the members of the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 20 to nothing, or 21 to nothing, that bill is reported with substitute. Next bill.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 322 from Delegate Glass is another bill we've worked on for some time, and I think we again have reached peace in the valley on this, and really appreciate the efforts of the interested parties as well as Delegate Glass. This provides that food is misbranded if it purports to be or is represented as a meat food product or poultry product, when such food product bears or contains a manufactured protein food product as defined in the bill or is offered for sale and labeled that way, and this is sort of a truth in labeling bill. The subcommittee recommends reporting, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor, or sorry, any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the big board. All right, by a vote of 21 to 0 with one abstention, that bill is reported.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 402 also has a substitute, and I move the substitute.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Substitute's before us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yet another bill that we've worked on for a couple of sessions, and I, again, appreciate Delegate Carlson's efforts. I think we've found good language here. This bill expands the exemption from state inspection requirements for private homes where the resident is processing and preparing certain food products, including pickles and acidified vegetables, allowing them to sell in other locations, including through the internet, which currently they can't do. A lot of us buy these products through the internet, so this is going to make us all legal now, and we can get that sourdough bread without feeling guilty. Except for eating the bread. But anyway, the subcommittee recommends reporting the substitute, and I so move.
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Any questions or comments from the committee on the bill? If not, let's go to the big board. by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported with substitute. Next bill?
Thank you. A few more here, Mr. Chair. HB 543 from Delegate Carnegie. This adds the management of the Forest Sustainability Fund to the powers and duties of the Office of Working Lands Preservation with the Department of Forestry. Subcommittee recommends reporting, and I so move.
Second.
All right. Moved and reported. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported. All right, next bill.
Yes, HB 710 from Delegate Pence. This has a substitute, and I move the substitute.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, substitutes before us.
Yes, thank you. This HB 710 with substitute provides that the Board of Agriculture and Consumer Services may assess a civil penalty, an amount not to exceed $250 per violation for any tradesperson involved with proposing or installing plants who fails to provide written notification to the property owners where such plants are on the invasive plant species list. The subcommittee recommends reporting with substitute, and I so move.
All right, moved and seconded. Substitutes already before us. Any questions or comments about the bill? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported with substitute. All right, next bill, sir.
Yes, thank you. HB 749 from Delegate Runyon amends the provisions governing the permit requirements for bulk lime materials to add a distributor who holds a valid license to distribute regulated product as defined in the bill. Other language that's cleaned up that was duplicative. The subcommittee recommends reporting, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and substituted.
No substitute.
I'm sorry,
substitute,
moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee on the bill? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 21-1, that bill is reported.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 1016 from Chair Tran. Make sure it does not have a substitute, but this requires the Virginia Cooperative Extension Service to create a list of common house plants that are toxic to cats and dogs no later than November of this year, and to update that list every 4 years thereafter. Subcommittee recommends reporting and referring to appropriations, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those, sorry. Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 19-3, that bill is reported and referred to appropriations. Last bill and sub.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Last bill, HB 1081 from Delegate Weber. Yes. This one requires the Office of Working Lands Preservation to serve as a trustee to administer the in lieu fees and trust for small renewable energy project. Bill requires that such fees be used to acquire conservation easements and cover any expenses associated with acquiring such easements. Subcommittee recommends reporting, and I so move.
Second.
All right, bills moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the big board. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported. Thank you very much
Thank
to
you.
The chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And also the members of the subcommittee. Let's move on now to the Chesapeake Subcommittee report and Chair Herring.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. First is House Bill 390. There was a substitute. I so move the adoption.
Substitute's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, substitutes before us. Chair Herring.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 390 establishes the Habitat Policy Oversight Committee within the Marine Resource Commission to advise the Commission and the Habitat Management Division of the Commission on policies within their jurisdiction and to support the Commission's coastal resilience efforts. The bill established the powers and the duties of the committee, provides the committee shall have 9 to 10 voting members and ex officio members as well. The bill also establishes that their reviews are to provide clear and consistent and science-based path to granting permits. A subcommittee recommends reporting with the substitute by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported with substitute. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 645 provides that license tags or identification numbers for commercial fishing boats, nets, or other devices shall be attached and displayed in a manner prescribed by the Marine Resources Commission, and repeals a provision that requires a license to apply for a new tag within 24 hours after the discovery or destruction of or loss of the original tag. Currently, the requirements for attaching and displaying license tags or identification numbers are set forth in state law. The subcommittee recommends reporting this bill by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? If none, let's go to the board. What's the issue? All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1013 has amendments. I move the amendments.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Amendments are before us.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, this bill requires the Marine Resources Commission, in collaboration with the Virginia Institute of Marine Science, to develop and establish by December 1st, 2027, Diamondback terrapin protection areas in those portions of the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries where interactions may occur between Diamondback terrapins and any nets, traps, pots, or other fishing devices or gear. The bill directs the Commission to require, by regulation, bycatch reduction devices as defined in the bill on crab pots placed within any such Diamondback terrapin protection area. There is a violation of the regulation. There are penalties as classified as a Class 3 misdemeanor, and as well, the line amendments clarify that the use of the bait catch reduction devices applies to recreation crab pots. It specifies that VMRC shall collaborate with the Crab Management Advisory Committee at VMS and require VMRC to develop recommendations for incorporating the use of the bait catch reduction devices into the commercial crab fishery. The subcommittee recommends reporting with the amendments by a vote of 6-4, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. There are some folks who'd like to speak from the committee. Delegate Tran.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and Madam Leader. We do, based on the testimony and debate in the subcommittee hearing, I do have some line amendments that I wanted to offer today, working with council, and I would like to explain those amendments if I had a chance.
Delegate Tran.
I'm so sorry, council, could you pass them out? I know that sometimes it's hard to follow amendments, but I think we need a motion to move them so that she can pass them out and we can consider them.
So moved.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. All right, let's pass out the amendments that are before us. Oh, they're already passed out. Yes. Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
I think we didn't get into that.
There was
The
a
chair. Okay.
roadblock down there.
Oh, thank
Wasn't
you.
me. Wasn't me.
The vice chair.
All right, so I think what we heard from our committee and concerns from members on the subcommittee was to make sure that the Crab Management Advisory Committee was involved in the conversations around the terrapin protection areas and whether there are additional next steps that need to be taken. So we have included the Crab Management Advisory Committee. This is also, this line amendment, so that's one. Number two also is focused, making sure we're focused on the recreational crab pots. And then I think that we spent a lot of time on what is now line amendment 4, to make sure that we are not presupposing any outcomes that we are asking VIMS, VMRC, and the Crab Management Advisory Committee to make when they get together on this issue. So you'll see that the language is pretty high level, and it says for those 3 entities to determine if additional strategies are needed to reduce bycatch of diamondback terrapins in, and I just want to stress, only these particular protection areas that will that we're asking them to look at establishing, and that they will report any identified strategies to the General Assembly. I hope that addresses the concerns that we heard during subcommittee about making any, to presuppose any outcomes of these discussions. I think that was a particular concern.
Thank you, Delegate Tran. Delegate Bloxham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the patron and the advocates working so diligently trying to correct this bill. I, however, still have great reservations. Once you require a license or a device on a particular gear, it's going to be very hard, especially to defend it, that it isn't statewide to everyone. And I think we all heard, and there's actually some testimony, if the committee would allow, and if the chairman would allow, there's actually a gentleman here today, Pete Nixon, that actually has been involved in the crab management and on the advisory since, I think, 2001. And what I really just want to stress is that this issue has been talked about at the VMRC, at the crab management area, CMAC, for years. 2016 was the first official look at it, but I think they've looked at it way before that. So I know that we typically don't take testimony. This gentleman could not make it up on Monday. He did struggle to make it up today, and if I would love the indulgence to allow him to speak, if that would be all right, Mr. Chairman.
That would be fine.
That's me, folks. I used to come up here every session several times representing the watermen in Virginia. I'm past president of the Virginia Seafood Council, the Lower Chesapeake Watermen's Association, and I was chairman of the Marine Products Board for a number of years. This subject first came up in front of the Marine Products Board, at the turn of the century. We had to deal with an issue with the, believe it or not, the, I'm trying to think of what the name of it is. It's an aquarium in California that would not certify Virginia crab meat because we didn't have turtle excluders in crab pots back then. And we addressed the issue then. In 2001, it was taken up and a study was done by VIMS. And the results were fairly inconclusive, other than most of the problem was concentrated on recreational crab pots that were left over long periods of time by vacationers who had homes on the waterfront and would go back to their homes and leave their crab pots overboard. Other than that, it was not too much of an issue. These turtles, I heard testimony the other day, I listened to the subcommittee online, that said they would die after 50 minutes. Well, they live underwater without breathing for 12 hours. They don't go into pots immediately. Crabs don't go in there immediately. And you catch them on occasion, but if you leave pot over for a week at a time without being attended, you catch a few of them. And that's where the main part of the problem always seemed to be. I've been a member of the CMAC for 37 years. Bill Pruitt thought he was doing me a favor and put me on that thing in 1986. And I told him the other day on the phone, it was like a life sentence with no parole. I can't get off. Anyway, this subject is going to come up again and again and again unless we can go ahead and figure out how to solve the problem. I think the main solution would be to just do like we did originally in the CMAC committee and put it on recreational pots only. That got changed again after we passed that recommendation gee, I don't know what year that was, 2012 or something like that.
Thank you, sir.
Commercial pots don't seem to be the problem.
Thank you, sir.
All right?
Mr. Chair, I just really appreciate what you said last, sir, when you, and thank you for taking the time to come and share your testimony. This bill right now focuses only on recreational pots. And then what it says is that it asks the VMRC, VIMS, and CMAC, which, whose composition I believe is predominantly crabbers, commercial crabbers, so industry representatives, to be, to identify diamondback terrapin protection areas, so to make sure that we have, in our waters, understand where these turtles are intersecting most with our crab pots, and that to identify if any additional steps are needed. It does not presuppose that any are, but I just want to say that what you said about focusing on recreational crab pots is exactly where the status of this bill right now with all these amendments.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's all. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the concern on this subject. I've caught these before, very rarely. But all the evidence we saw during these studies was a number of turtles killed by recreational crab pots that had been left over for long periods of time. And if we can solve that problem, then I think this thing will be a solution.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your testimony and your driving up here. All right. Any more questions or comments from members of the committee? Delegate Kent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to clarify based on the testimony and even what we were reading that the language that was added for CMAC to review this with VMRC, that actually is what we're doing currently. So would that be just redundant of current CMAC's responsibility that we are having those conversations and that we have been? So I just wanted to ask if that part was necessary.
Delegate Kent, were you asking that of the patron or the...
Whether it's the patron or the expert or any CMAC representatives to answer if that's currently happening in CMAC, and aren't we doing that presently?
All right, sir.
Well, I've always had a great relationship with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. I've built them boats. I've rebuilt boats for them. Hell, a little over a year ago, I gave them 1,000 bushels of oyster shells to put into Lynn Haven River. Chris Moore and I have known each other for, I don't know, a long time, over 20 years. And I said to him in the hall a little while ago, I said, Chris, I said, we have talked about this thing for 25 years. I said, the horse is dead. You don't need to beat the horse anymore. And I would just like to see this thing disappear. But if it takes something like what Delegate Tran wants to do to settle this issue, if we can do it without having our heads under a guillotine, because these excluders will decimate the crab industry. And you've got a lot of people really sitting on the edge of their chairs. I've got 2 licenses for sale right now. And I've had people call me to buy my licenses. I've retired. And they're reluctant to buy them because they don't know whether they're going to be able to get return on investment. And mainly because of this bill. So everybody's kind of shaking in their boots over this one.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your testimony. Chris from CBF.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Chris Moore, Executive Director of Chesapeake Bay Foundation, and have worked with Pete for years and really respect his opinion. I think the biggest thing this bill does that's a change is we've not had VIMs in the room for these discussions over the last couple of years, and that ensures, I think, we have the 3 main groups there. We have Virginia Marine Resources Commission, we have the Virginia Marine Science, and the Crab Management Advisory Committee. And I think that's what we need to do this, and that bill makes sure those folks are there. So hope that's helpful in clarifying.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Any more questions or comments from the committee? Delegate Bloxham.
Just to close out, Mr. Chair, thank you so much for allowing Pete to testify. I do appreciate the attempt by the patron to write out the commercial crabber. My fear is still one lawsuit away from making everyone have the same gear. I just don't see any way that this bill, we're doing what the patron wants to do already. This is just redoing something, so I'm still a no. Thank you. And the next thing I would say, Mr. Chair, is that this really needs to be, if we're including VIMs in the room, it will have a fiscal impact, and I think it needs to be referred to appropriations.
I'll make a motion at the appropriate time.
Delegate Kent.
I'll make a motion that this is referred to appropriations for review with VIMS.
There is no letter on this, and we haven't. Is there a substitute motion?
Second.
All right, substitute motion moved and report with amendments. All right. Substitute motion's before us. Let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 14 to 8, the bill is reported with amendments. All right, next bill.
Next bill, Mr. Chair, is HB 1110. There was a substitute, and so I move the substitute.
Second.
Moved and seconded, the substitute before us. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, substitute before us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill directs the Marine Products Board to establish and maintain a voluntary Chesapeake Wild Harvest certification and labeling program for any blue catfish that is taken or caught in the Chesapeake Bay or its tributaries and is processed in the Commonwealth. The bill prohibits any person from labeling any product as Chesapeake Wild Harvest unless such product conforms to the provisions of the bill. The subcommittee recommended reporting the substitute by 9-1, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments about the bill before the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 18 to 2, or 19 to 2, that bill is reported with substitute. Thank you. Next bill, Chair Herron.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 1350 has a substitute, and I so move.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, substitutes before us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill increases the maximum civil penalty amount that the Director of Department of Environmental Quality may assess for any special order to a person to comply with certain related laws, regulations, permits, and certifications from $1,000 to $32,500, the cap for any one civil penalty for violations. Mr. Chair, the substitute also carves out a separate civil penalty for land distributing activity that disturbs the area measuring not less than 10,000 square feet, but less than 1 acre in an area that is not designated as a Chesapeake Bay Preservation Area pursuant to the Chesapeake Bay Prevention Act and is not part of the larger common plan or development or sale that disturbs 1 or more acre of land. This is a long sentence, Mr. Chair, I apologize.
Yeah.
The civil penalty shall not exceed $5,000 for each violation with a limit of $50,000. The subcommittee recommends reporting with a substitute by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 21 to nothing, that bill is reported with substitute. Final bill. or second to last bill.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 1381 has a substitute, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Substitute's before us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill deals with prohibiting bioslurry injection wells and groundwater management area. I will spare us the details, but it does substitute keeps all introduced provisions, but made some changes to conform with the code standards. The subcommittee recommends reporting with the substitute by 10-0, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All right, let's go to the big board. All right, by a vote of 21-0, this bill is reported with substitute. Final bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 1436 removes the requirement from Virginia Erosion and Stormwater Management Program Authority to have us continued. All right, well, this bill is continued.
Yeah.
So I so move.
All right, let's go to the, it's a voice vote. All those in favor of continuing this bill to 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that bill is continued to 2027. All right, thank you very much, Chair Herring. Now, Chair Tran, the Natural Resources Subcommittee.
I was trying to vote. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. We have House Bill 70 before us. I'd like to move the substitute.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Substitutes before us.
Mr. Chair, this bill updates the Resilient Virginia Revolving Fund and allows the Virginia Resources Authority to contract with any person to serve as a program administrator to be approved by the department to assist, and we change it to the Chief Resilience Officer to review and make recommendations on new applications for grants or loans from the Resilient Virginia Revolving Fund. I apologize. The substitute removed that requirement. All right, let me start over. This bill allows the Virginia Resources Authority to contract with a person to serve as a program administrator to assist in the distribution of loans and grants to local governments under this revolving fund, and make some additional technical updates in that application review. The subcommittee recommended reporting with substitute by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right. Any questions or comments from the committee about the bill? All right. All those in favor of the bill, go to the big board. All right. By a vote of 19-1, this bill is reported with substitute.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have House Bill 237 that was introduced by yourself, and this bill provides that the Virginia Coastal Resilience Master Plan include identification of areas where marshes may migrate in the face of sea level rise. It also adds, additional floodplains and flooding resilience and protected landscape resilience categories of the Conserve Virginia program to help with GIS mapping. The subcommittee recommended reporting with the substitute by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the big board.
Lost connection here.
We've lost connection. We'll go to ease for a moment.
It came through.
It came through, but let's destroy it. I don't think people saw it. Let's just throw that roll in HB 237 and the substitutes before us. Let's put it up again. Yeah. As it came in a committee. All right. All right, by a vote of 21-0, that bill is reported with substitutes. Next bill.
Mr. Chair, we have House Bill 714 from Delegate Henson. This bill authorizes the Department of Conservation and Recreation to convey property to and acquire property from the Newport Estates Homeowners Association at Lee Sylvania State Park. The conveyances will provide a permanent access to Neabsco Road in Prince William County to property owned by the association that's otherwise inaccessible, to allow the association to complete repairs and restoration to a slope failure due to poor soils on the association's neighborhood open space property, while ensuring that the department retains property of recreational utility at Lee Sylvania State Park. The subcommittee recommends reporting by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported. Second to last bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have House Bill 759 from Delegate Runyon in front of us. This bill authorizes the Department of Wildlife Resources to grant and convey an appurtenant and non-exclusive easement and right-of-way at Highland Wildlife Management Area to A1 Land LCC to allow vehicular ingress and egress along Davis Run Road to access the grantee's property. The bill also authorizes the department to accept a similar easement from A1 Land LCC to allow vehicular ingress and egress over the LCC's property to access the wildlife management area. The subcommittee recommends reporting by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments from the committee? All right, let's go to the board. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported. All right, the final bill.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, we have House Bill 846 by Delegate Kent. And I believe she has a substitute, and maybe I can yield time so she can speak to that.
A substitute or amendments?
Amendments.
My apologies.
Sorry, it is a
Amendments.
substitute. You're right, Chair Tran. Sorry, substitute.
Substitute.
All right.
Thank
Delegate
you.
Kent.
I'd like to speak to the substitute, and we do have it available online once I get a motion to put it up in front of you all. Would you like me to make my motion first, sir?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion. Thank you.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute being before us, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, substitutes before us. Delegate Kent.
Thank you so much. So speaking to the substitute, we had some conversations with DCR, and so we really just wanted to button this up and make it perfect coming out of this committee so there weren't questions later and clarify language because we are dealing kind of with a third party. So after speaking with folks within the land trust and with DCR, this substitute would do two things. We don't actually need the revisionary interest because it still rests within a land trust interest to a public body. And so if there is an issue, we were just trying to create a safety net for the co-hold. So that still exists under this language. It just cleans that up for one. And then two, it would make it permissive. So this is where DCR and VLCF look to make sure that we reference the third party right of enforcement. So that's clear in code and in law and legal terms. And I believe there is someone here with DCR that I'd love to ask for to punt for the technicality if the committee agrees to it.
Would Ms. Director Robner please come up and speak from DCR?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Appreciate Delegate Kent working with us and the proponents of this bill. While we still don't have an official position, we did help to draft these amendments, and we we do think that it will give us the option to do this going forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Robner. Any questions or comments for the delegate or the presenter? All right. Substitutes before us. Any more questions or comments from members of the committee?
Mr. Chair, the subcommittee had recommended moving forward with the previous version by a vote of 10-0, and I would move that the substituted bill today is recommended for reporting.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded that the substitute before us is reported. Any more questions or comments? All right, let's go to the board.
Mr. Chair, we were just whispering about all of our motions. I just want to make clear that my motion was to report as substituted today.
Yes, that's
Thank you.
what the motion was. All right. All right, by a vote of 22-0, that bill is reported with the second substitute. All right, that completes our work today for this docket. I really want to thank the chairs and all the members of the committee for the amazing work you're doing. We have just a few more meetings for subcommittees and the full committee, so please remain diligent in staying on top of the bills. With that, the committee will rise.